Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to Ramp Real Access Motivates Progress podcast. We are so excited to be with you tonight, and we have some amazing guests for you to meet tonight. We have Addie and her mom from Minnesota. Addie is a 14-year-old who's making a huge impact in our world, and I cannot wait to hear her story and to hear all about her. So let's get right into it. Welcome, Addie and Marissa Lorzel. Did I say that correctly? From Minnesota. Yeah, I'm worked on it. So I'm so excited to have you guys with us tonight. And Addie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your disability?
I have spina bifida, where I'm like permanently in a wheelchair, and my feet can barely move, and I was born with it.
Oh, wow. I know how you feel because I've only been in a wheelchair for 6 years and I have no feeling in my legs or my feet. So do you have the same problem I do, that forgetting shoes is a real thing when you can't feel your feet?
Yeah, I can't feel them at all.
Yeah, I forget my shoes everywhere that I go because if you don't feel them, it's not like you're going to step in a puddle or stub them, so you don't remember. So tell me a little bit about, I hear you're Miss Amazing Junior Teen. Tell me all about that experience and how that happened.
It was like a really great experience, and it was great because I got to meet all these different girls and women with other disabilities, and it was fun showing off my talent.
Yeah. What was that crowning moment when they called your name as the winner? What was that crowning moment like for you?
I was shocked.
Yeah. How about you, Mom? How was watching her? How was watching her go through that for you?
Like Addie, I'm gonna cry. Addie like always amazes me, and she makes me proud all the time. And that was just another moment where I felt absolute pride about something that she worked hard and she accomplished.
Now, when you found out that Addie was going to have spinal bifida, I'm going to talk to your mom for a minute, Addie. When you found out she was going to have spinal bifida, how did that make you feel? And, what are some of the things as a parent that you went through, trying to cope with that and, your hopes and dreams for your daughter? And
Right.
Has she exceeded all of that?
Yeah. I found out that she would have a disability before she was born. So I had a little bit of time to prepare and get ready for that. I think parents, when they go through that, they kind of feel a sense of loss. Like, you feel a sense that all those dreams you had for your child might not be a possibility. And now I tell people in the same situation, if I had a crystal ball back then and I could see our future, I wouldn't have worried. Because life is great, and we're doing amazing things, and Addie is out there every day doing things just like her peers and doing better things. So initially it's scary, but life is good and you roll with it.
And that's amazing hearing that from you, because as a mom, you have all of those fears, like my daughter's not going to be able to accomplish this, or she's going to be roadblocked for this. How do you think regular people feel, that don't have somebody of disability in their life? So you can almost understand how they view us. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually live with somebody, it takes all of that fear away.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And I try to tell when parents are getting that diagnosis before their baby is born, I try to tell them, just enjoy your baby. You will grow with that child and figure out everything.
Yeah, that's such wonderful and great advice. Thank you so much. So now the big moment. I want to hear all about Addie's Royal Cupcake Stand. Tell me how this got started and tell me all about it, Addie.
Oh, okay. In 2013, I got to go to Disney World and and meet all the princesses, which was my dream for a very long time. And when I got that dream come true, I thought, hey, maybe I'll pay that forward. And then it started just like tiny, and then it grew bigger and bigger and bigger.
Nice. Now, how
Right.
did you get your wish granted? How did that happen? How did you end up getting to go?
Talk about the agency.
Sunshine Foundation, it helps people with disabilities and kids that have been abused
Right.
and
Marissa, how did you sign her up, and how did you get involved in that? So other parents, who may need that, how do they get signed up?
Great. So it was a Facebook post in a spina bifida parents group. And the Sunshine Foundation is very unique because they grant dreams to kids or who have been abused. So they don't require like a terminal diagnosis to grant the dream. And that's how we heard about it. And prior to that, I hadn't heard of them, even though they're the original Wish Granting Foundation. They were the very first ones to do it. Besides the mission, we want to help other kids get their dreams come true, but we want to help more people hear about the Sunshine Foundation because they're such a fantastic organization.
Yeah, because there's so many of them out there, like Make-A-Wish, and here in Rhode Island we have Children's Wishes, and I know there are different ones. So out in Minnesota, it's called the Sunshine Organization.
Well, it's the Sunshine Foundation. They're actually based in Philadelphia, so probably not too far from you. So that's where the headquarters are. So they're a national organization. So they're granting dreams to kids all over the country.
Oh, that's even so much better. That you're with a national foundation that, spreads the word. So why did you want to pay it forward, Addie?
When I got my dream come true, I just felt really good. And I thought, hey, maybe we should pay this forward because I want other people to get their dreams come true. And so when I started doing that, it just felt really good. I was so proud of myself.
Oh, that is so awesome. So how did you come up with the cupcake idea?
A lot of people like cupcakes, so it's kind of a story. So it started off just as a lemonade stand, and we have a dear friend named Hannah who the first year she offered to bake a few cupcakes for the lemonade stand so we could have some treats too. Well, little did she know, 7 years later, she'd be baking 3,000 cupcakes. She didn't know what she was getting herself into. So we have a fantastic friend that kind of brought the cupcake piece to it.
Right. And how many cupcakes do you sell them, obviously, right?
Yep. So it's kind of fun. Addie has a whole team of princesses. Every princess you can imagine is part of her stand. And during the day, they make some deliveries to businesses who can't get to the stand. So we bring the cupcakes to them for a free will donation. And then we serve them at the cupcake stand in the afternoon.
Oh, that is awesome. But I know it's not just princesses. There's some villains in there as well, aren't there?
Yeah. It was exciting. Yeah. Addie adds a few characters every year. And this year, I think there was 3 or 4 villains.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm privy to the villains. Like Cruella de Vil is one of my favorites. That is so awesome. So it wasn't too long ago that you had. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that you had your cupcake day this year. How many cupcakes did you do just this year during COVID? How did that change for you?
We were doing safe distance, like 6 feet apart, and we waved.
And people stayed in their cars, right?
People stayed in the cars and they drive through. Yeah,
it turned out a lot better than we expected. It was kind of fun. People would pull in the parking lot, make their donation, and get cupcakes to go. And then they drove the perimeter of the parking lot where we had all the princesses and villains standing. And kids and adults just loved it. It was very exciting.
What was the count? What was your count of cupcakes this year?
We served about 2,500 cupcakes.
Wow, that's a lot of cupcakes. Now, do people pre-order them, or do people pre-order them? Yeah, we have a good feeling for what we're going to sell at the stand just from doing it for this many years. COVID, of course, threw a curveball at us. We didn't know how many to make for a drive-through cupcake stand. And we ended up running out about 15 minutes before the stand was over. So we did pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good of judging. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Now, what are your plans to going forward? Because I know this is only like a Minnesota, South Dakota kind of thing, or North Dakota kind of thing right now. Right. Do you have plans to expand?
We would sure love to. I think Addie is onto a very unique idea here that would be enjoyed by, people across the country. Like, who doesn't love princesses and cupcakes and doing good?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Because I know definitely Ramp would like to sign on, because we're national and we're representative in a few states. So we would like to sign on in all of our states. Do you have a particular date in mind that you do every year that people could sign up for and kind of plan ahead?
Right. Yeah. Addie always has her stand the second Tuesday of August. Mm-hmm. So this year or next year, it'll be August 10th.
Oh, good. And how can people sign up if they wanted to start one in their state? How do they sign up?
Sure. Well, they would just they could send Addie and I a message through her Facebook page. It's Addie's Royal Cupcake Stand. Mm-hmm. And we haven't done it before, but we're pretty creative and love working with other people. So we would figure out a way to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would love that. And maybe we could add a few superheroes to this as well. You know what I mean? And kind of expand it too. Because I make a good Wonder Woman in my wheelchair. So, we can expand it to some superheroes, and let's see how many states. Let's have a challenge and see how many states that we can get signed up for August 10th of 2021. How does that sound?
That sounds cool.
That sounds awesome. Yes.
Cool and awesome.
That's awesome. So if anybody in their state wants to sign up for this Addie's Royal Cupcake Stand, like her Facebook page and send her a message, or go through the Ramp Facebook page and we will put you in contact with them. And let's see how many states that we can have signed up for next year. And we'll add some superheroes to this, and we'll just expand it right out, and we'll blow this right up. And where does all the money go?
It all goes to the Sunshine Foundation. So usually there's a child in our area that we are providing the funds for them to get their dream come true. So having a national event where we have representatives in different states, that's great, because there's kids on the waiting list all across the country.
Oh, that is awesome. So as a country and all together, we could be granting wishes for like kids all over the country. How cool would that be?
Right.
What a great idea that you have come up with. Now, what else do you do, Addie, besides your cupcake stand? What else do you do? Is there any other advocacy, or do you work for your state in some way?
Yes. Yes, we have done a lot.
With Minnesota State Parks.
Minnesota. We've done.
Yeah, we've done some work with the Minnesota State Parks. Working with them, just trying to show the accessibility features at some of the state parks.
Yeah.
So Addie is in a lot of their brochures and on their or website showing. She got to do a couple photo shoots with them.
Yeah.
To kind of encourage people with disabilities, right?
Yeah.
Encourage people with disabilities to get out and find those parks that have the great accessibility features and make improvements to the ones that don't.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great idea, because that's exactly what Ramp does, is we go out there and we show people how they can become affordably accessible and how easy it is with small accommodations that they can include everybody. And so, we have such a common goal between all of us. I also hear there's some reading thing that you do, that you read to a bunch of kids. What is that all about?
When I got my pageant, when I won the pageant, I decided maybe I can read to kids and show them what inclusion's like. And so I read them this book about inclusion called A Rainbow of Friends, and I show them M&Ms and tell them everybody is different, but in the inside we're all the same.
Right. I would love if you would videotape yourself doing that, because on our rant page we have a video series, and it's a lot of, because I'm a crown pageant girl myself. I'm the only one of disability in a regular pageant about community service, so I'm running up against all of these beautiful women who walk, so it's even a bit scarier, but I don't have to worry about tripping because I never have to worry about that. But we have this series going on our page about reading books of inclusion. So I would love if you would do a video of reading that book, and we can post it right up on my page so you can reach the masses across the country. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Yeah, that'd be
Very
something
cool.
you'd be interested in doing. Yeah.
Yes.
How is it in school? How is accessible is your school, and how are they with working with you?
They're pretty good at working with me. And school's great. It's like accessible. There's some stairs, but there's an elevator inside.
Yeah. Now, are you in an inclusive classroom? Are you in an inclusive classroom? Or are you in, the regular classrooms with other students?
Some special ed and some with regular ed.
So you do, like, you're in the general population with the regular kids. How do the other kids interact with you during the day? Do you find that's difficult?
Not very difficult.
We're kind of blessed. Daddy's been in the same. Yeah, she's been in the same school system since she was in kindergarten, so she has some great friends that she's grown up with.
Right.
Everybody knows Addie, and everybody is friendly with her, and she's friendly with them.
That's awesome. I mean, in the day and age that we live in, unfortunately, with the whole bullying piece and everything like that, I was just curious of how that interacted with somebody of disability, because obviously I wasn't disabled when I was in school, but we had like a Best Buddies program, and I was always, leaning towards that and being part of that group. So I'm more concerned of how the bullying piece goes, Do you ever have encountered that, or do you ever, have that? No, that's great. That's actually amazing, because it's such a piece that we get, and what I find is you have the kids who will be very kind and caring to the person of disability in their school, but they forget that when they're talking to their able-bodied friends. Like I see it sometimes in reverse. Do you ever see that?
No, I didn't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. And how is it, Mom Marissa? How is it for you with Addie being in school and the general population? Are the other parents, pretty easygoing about it, or do you find any roadblocks?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty relaxed about everything in life. I don't get too worked up about things, so.
Right.
I trust Addie, and I trust that her educators are doing a good job while she's in school. And Addie, there was a time I joke with her when she was, 2 years old, she didn't talk at all. And I was worried that she'd never talk. And now I'm worried that she'll never stop talking. It's a total opposite.
Yeah, we teach them to walk and talk, and then it's to be quiet and sit in the corner. So
right.
Yeah.
So Addie, she's just learned so much.
Right. What advice would you give a parent? Yeah. What advice would you give a parent starting to go through all of this?
I think some advice I would give is empower your child to make some of their own decisions, and empower children to be a team player in their education. There's some people like Addie who she's probably going to have meetings her entire life. She's probably going to have the support staff and agencies in her life forever. And I'm not always going to be here to advocate for her. So I want Addie to be empowered. I want her to be her own advocate. And my advice to other parents would do the same. Like, trust your kids to make some decisions. They know themselves better than anybody.
Right. Well, what about you, Addie? What advice would you give to another child, entering the school and wanting to participate? What advice would you give them?
Just like, just do what you want to do. You can have your own decision.
Right.
And you can.
Now, has anybody ever told you no, that you can't do something and you're like, watch me, I'm going to do it anyway?
No.
No.
They usually know I can do
it. They usually know you can do it. Yeah, they know Addie can do whatever she wants, whatever she puts her mind to.
Do you empower your peers, your disability peers? Do you empower them to start standing up for themselves and help them advocate?
Yes, I have.
Yeah? Can you give me a story or an example of how you've helped them?
Yes, I have done a lot of helping.
I think one of my very favorite stories about Addie at one of her IEP meetings, one of the teachers talked about how there's a student in class that can't communicate verbally, but Addie always takes the time to talk to that student and include that student, even though they can't respond verbally. And I was so proud of Addie when I heard that. And I'm still proud of her that she tries to empower people and include people regardless of the type of abilities that they do have.
Yeah.
Right. And how does that empower you, Addie, by knowing that you're doing something so good for somebody else? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great because I know I'm doing something for others, like talking to them if they can't talk at all, and so like talking to them and.
Right. Has this person found a way to communicate even though they can't speak? How do they communicate back to you?
Usually just listen.
Do they smile and frown and
you
can tell physically what they're trying to say?
Yeah.
It must make them feel really good knowing that someone's talking to them and including them, So can you tell that they're getting excited that you're including them?
Yeah, I have a friend that cannot talk. He would smile when I talk.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so incredible. See, it only takes a minute to include somebody and to smile back, and a smile can go a million miles. You know what I mean? To include somebody. Do you have any other stories of any, like, is there any kind of like sporting stuff? We have a best buddies sporting thing where it's able-bodied children working with disabled children together on either volleyball or basketball. And it's kind of like an intramural kind of thing. Do they have anything like that out there?
Yeah. I've seen the people I used to have, like, in science we would usually do stuff, and we would come together and work on it on the science project. And so
that's awesome.
We that was really cool. And there was one time when I was like younger, we would have buddies, like older buddies, and we would and we would do stuff, read. It was fun.
Oh, that's awesome. If you had to leave everybody with one piece of advice about you and your disability, what would it be?
there was advice.
Maybe you would advise them that even though you do things differently than other kids, you can still do them, right?
Yeah.
And that if there's a will, there's a way. It might not look like every other kid out there, but if you want to do something, there's people that are out there to help, and there's equipment out there to make it possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Mom, if you had one thing to leave everybody with, what would it be?
I think that I would say that these differences that we all have, even if you have a disability or you don't, this is what makes the world beautiful. This is what makes the world a fun place to be. And I think I try to point out sometimes that things that make Addie's life easier, like ramps and elevators and that type of technology, is helpful for many people. It's helpful for older people. It's helpful for people who are pushing strollers. So just kind of reminding the world that, that we're different, but we kind of still have some of the same needs.
Right. And I mean, the thing is if everybody in the world was the same, it'd be an awfully boring world, wouldn't it?
Right.
The world would be boring.
Yeah. So give us one more plug for your Addie's Royal Cupcakes and how they can get in touch with you.
They can find you on Facebook, right?
Facebook, yeah.
Addie's Royal Cupcake Stand. You can scroll back and see it all the years past, how much her cupcake stand has grown. And feel free to send us a message through there, and we are pretty good at responding right away.
So everybody, the magic date is August 10th, 2021. We would like to get as many representatives from states across the country, and let's help Addie make wishes for children across the country. So make sure you're reaching out to Addie's Royal Cupcake Stand on Facebook. Send them a message or send Ramp a message, and we will make sure we get in touch. And let's see how many states that we can spread this message and how many children's wishes that we can grant. Thank you guys so much. It was such a joy and a pleasure. And Addie, let me tell you, you're 14 years old. You started this at 7. I completely commend you. What a great spirit you have, and what a difference you're making in this world. So thank you so much for being on our program tonight. And Marissa, thank you for raising such an amazing young lady.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
so
what you do.
Oh, thank you. I am so excited. And this was another amazing show of our podcast tonight. So make sure you're liking Addie's Royal Cupcake Stand and the Ramp page, of course, because you want to make sure you follow along. And make sure you become a red bag carrier. Carrying your medical information on a non-tech-based form is so important for everybody. Whether you have a disability or not, being a red bag carrier is such a huge thing that everybody should be. You can go to www.rampisinclusion.com and just click the link of red bags and become a red bag carrier today. Maybe we can start working with Addie's Cupcakes and we can give out a red bag, because for every bag that we sell, we donate a bag. So maybe we can say with every cupcake, we can give a red bag to, and we can save people's lives as we're treating them. We'll raise their sugar with diabetes, and then we'll give them a medical bag to go with it. How does that sound? I think it's a brilliant idea. We can sell more cupcakes that way. I don't recommend it, but thank you guys so much, and we'll be talking to you, and we will definitely be in touch. Have a great night, everybody, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye.
I think we lost our tech guy. Yep, we lost our tech guy. So now we can just talk a little bit. We're still live, but I don't know where Joel is.
Oh, still on air.
So how is this being live tonight, Addie?
It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah?
Addie never gets nervous.
Do you have a big crown and sash for your Miss Amazing?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah? Do you like
Yeah, she'll
wearing
make
it?
sure she wears it when she records her reading.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely wear your crown and sash, because if I could wear mine every single day, I would absolutely have mine on. Now, do you get good feedback from the public when you're out and about in your crown and sash? Do you do a lot of appearances?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
pre-COVID, Addie
awesome.
was working really hard, visiting a lot of daycares, schools, libraries.
Schools.
Yep, she was doing a couple presentations a week. So,
Yeah.
and because of her cupcake stand too, Addie's pretty well known in our community.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you do a lot of Zoom meetings now? Like, is it all gone virtual for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I find is
Yeah,
those readings that I was
see
telling you
myself-
about. I put them together in a video, and I put it out on my YouTube, and teachers are now using it as part of their virtual classroom. So now our books of inclusion are being read across the country because they're using our YouTube video. So now you're going to be virtually famous. How cool is that?
Cool. That would be cool. Virtually famous.
Oh, that's awesome. I am so excited. I don't know if Joel is listening, if he's with us yet, but I just want to thank you guys again, and you guys can just click the leave button on the top of your screen, and I will be in touch, and hopefully there'll be a ton of people signing up to be selling your Addie's cupcakes next year, and I am so excited because I know I'm going to start getting more and more people involved. And I know some of my sister queens from American Women of Service are also part of that, especially your Minnesota American Women of Service. Monica is definitely involved in all of this. She drove, I don't know how many hours to make sure that she got there so she could help you guys deliver cupcakes. I'm like, you're driving how many hours?
I know. We're so thankful for her, and she is definitely the furthest person to come to us to help us out. So we appreciate that she would do that, and her daughter too.
Oh, that's awesome. I am so glad. And like I said, it's such a blessing. And that's what these pageants really do. What people don't see that side is the sisterhood and the bonding of helping each other. And it doesn't even have to be from the same system. You know what I mean? It's just helping out a fellow queen, empowering another woman to do good into their community and to do big things. But I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again so much.
Yes, thank you too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, guys.